Welcome to the Wellness as a Way of Life podcast, your one-stop, all-encompassing source of wellness, knowledge, wisdom, inspiration, and motivation. Here we teach you why not all wellness trends are for you, how to figure out which ones are, how to best adapt them for your personal wellness toolbox, and how ultimately to integrate your wellness practices so fully that they become to feel like brushing your teeth. A foundational part of who you are and not a check mark on your to-do list. Here we know that in order for health and wellness to be sustainable, we need a less is more approach, leaving the information overload and tips overwhelm behind. I'm your host, Megan Swan, creator of the Wellness as a Way of Life course and the Sustainable Integrated Wellness Approach. I have more than a decade of experience in the wellness industry and on my own personal wellness journey, learning how to tune into and trust my intuition and drown out all the noise. As a certified IIN health coach, detoxification expert, plant-based chef, yoga teacher, and coach, I will help you distill down the information overload and feel more confident and at ease in your own skin again. So let's swan dive in. Welcome back to Wellness as a Way of Life. This week on the podcast, we're going to look at the fifth pillar of my 6 pillars of optimal wellness in greater depth: connection. So, connection is a waterfall of cause and effect on our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. So when I am working with clients or the ways in which that I view wellness, we really have to consider first, number one, connection is the connection we have with ourselves. Often we are very focused on the external, how do I feel about the relationships I have with other people, with my community, with my boss, with my coworkers, with my children, with my major partner or lack thereof. We're really seeking to find a sense of self, or, a deeper sense of love through interaction with other people. And what really became transformative in my life is when I found this grounded internal sense of, very trendy term, self-love, but an appreciation, a connection, a radical self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-compassion, self-understanding, and self-love that makes me and others who find it feel so much more grounded. And in turn, you make better decisions. You create clearer boundaries. You are able to have better communication, interaction, and really more fulfilling and deeper relationships with others, all the others in your life, once you find this grounded sense of self within. Because I would argue that society as a whole teaches us from a very young age, particularly women, but I think it's universal, to seek approval from an external source. And therefore, this feeling of I'm not enough because of XYZ starts quite young, and it has us constantly focusing on finding it in an external source. And ultimately, you never do. You never do until you find it within, and it's just so much more productive, efficient maybe, to find it within, and then it overflows into all of your relationships, those both really potent and powerful and close to home, and those also not so, your influence in the community, your coworkers, your impact in your career, all those sorts of things. So then the greater conversation about connection, really, it's quite massive, but even just the work doing the work to find that deep inner radical, like completely acceptance of self, of your, what we could talk about, shadows, like your mistakes, your deep dark secrets, all the things that you feel like you need to hide, maybe from everyone or from certain subsets of people in your life. Hiding anything is exhausting. So when we can find this real, true inner connection with self, it is transformative. So there is so much work that one can do, and it could be, honestly, it's probably a lifetime of work. It's not like you really arrive at any one point and it's complete. It is an ongoing practice. But once you find it on some level, on some layer, it is so much more grounding, and you feel completely different in the way that you operate in the world. So from there, I always invite people I work with to consider the ways that, you're showing up differently now with this different sense of inner connection, and therefore you tend to interact differently in your relationships. Sometimes that means having clear communication and clearer boundaries, as I said, or sometimes it means that certain relationships come to complete their cycle, or you move on and focus on building different types of relationships. And one key thing here is just to consider always, when you're looking to maximize your potential, you always want to surround yourself, like, who are the 5 key players in your life? And they might be people or influences that personally, that are very close, that you have like a very personal relationship with, or it can be mentors. It can be, influences of people that you've read or have been inspired by that you don't maybe know personally. But the point is, we always want to surround ourselves by people that we perceive sort of beyond where we are and where we aspire to be, hope to be, that really we just respect and admire on such a deep level that it inspires us to be better individuals on the day-to-day. So the last thing I will say about the 5th pillar, connection, is our connection with nature and our environment in general. It's a vast topic in itself, but one thing I wanted to plant here is an idea that my spiritual mentor, Julie Pyatt, or Srimati, constantly says when she's teaching yoga and doing guided meditations. And it's so true, but often so far from how we actually conduct ourselves in our daily lives. This idea of needing to go out and connect with nature, or be more in contact with nature, or have a deeper appreciation or respect for nature, whether we're talking about, maybe our current, the way that we're operating in terms of how we buy food, or our awareness of the issues of, massive issues like climate change, or just for our mental health. Like, we need to, quote unquote, get out in nature more. Her response to that would be, you don't need to go out into nature, you are nature. So that is such a powerful reframe. I will just leave it there with you to digest. You don't need to seek out nature, you are nature. So in what way can you find a deeper connection with nature? By building a deeper connection with self. It can be as simple as being more aware of your heartbeat in a moment of the day, or tuning in and listening to the ways that, muscles in your body are clenching around certain individuals, or that your entire mood or state of being shifts when you're in a certain kind of environment or around certain kind of people, or when you are thinking certain things about yourself. So it's just layer upon layer of self-awareness, deeper connection with self, with your environment, with those around you, with nature while remembering that you are nature. Signing off, big love, optimal wellness. See you soon. Thanks again for listening to the Wellness as a Way of Life podcast. As you know, we love bringing you valuable content that helps you improve your wellness. This podcast is sponsored by the Wellness as a Way of Life course. The course experience is the ultimate and only wellness course you need to have in your back pocket. If you're looking to feel more confident and at ease in your own skin with consistent energy, this course is the perfect solution for you. And the best part, as a listener of the podcast, you'll get an exclusive discount on the course. Just use the promo code WELL4LIFE at checkout to receive 10% off of your purchase. That's capital W, ELL, the number 4, capital LIFE at checkout. 8 incredible women have taken the Wellness as a Way of Life course and can attest to the massive value it provides. Consisting of 60 plus audio lessons, a dozen videos, the Wellness as a Way of Life workbook, and the Wellness as a Way of Life daily tracker, menus, playlists, readings, and the Megan Swan Wellness Resource Vault. It makes it the most comprehensive, less is more, holistic wellness course on the market. So if you're ready to take your wellness skills to the next level, head over to the website linked here in the show notes and enroll in the Wellness as a Way of Life course today. Hey there, one last thing I wanted to share with you. If you're enjoying this podcast, it would mean so much to me if you could rate and review it on your favorite podcast platform. It really does help us grow the show, and this being so important to me to get this message out to more women to help them optimize their wellness and ultimately their lives. This is my mission, and I would greatly appreciate it if you could support the podcast by rating and reviewing. Thanks in advance. Have a good one.